Let me see. Here we go. All right, looks like we're live. Once again, Friday night edition. This is Solutions and Answers with your breakthrough coach, the world's number one problem gambling annihilator, Santos Jr., out of Stockton, California. I'm grateful. I am very thankful to be here. I'm going to turn on my light. I'm going to turn on my belief before we get started on this program. We have special guests with us tonight. Once again, Jim, and of Tucson, Arizona. Yumoto motorized bicycles there. He's in the area of health. And Jim is going to be sharing with us here in a few minutes. He's going to share a little bit about his life and maybe a little bit about the transition that he made from being a teacher into developing his own way of generating income, becoming an entrepreneur, an independent business owner. So we're going to be sharing, and I will be taking on questions. Those of you that are here, I welcome you internationally from around the world. I will be taking your questions on. If you have a question for Jim as we're conversating and sharing here, there's no real agenda. We're just going to talk a little bit about failure and progression, probably, or not probably, but failure into progress, and how we can make that continually get momentum to get us going in that direction every single day. So I welcome those of you that are here. I see Wig 475 and Irene Go and Mr. Kevin. Welcome to the broadcast. So again, feel free to ask your question, and we're going to join in with us here as we share with Jim. So Jim, what have you been up to lately? Before we get started sharing about the past.
Lately, right now, it's kind of slow. I mean, it's kind of tapering off. Usually the winter time, late fall gets kind of slow. Country's getting colder, so people are not really riding too many bikes right now. So it's giving me an opportunity to kind of plan for the next year. Maybe add some more listings and advertisements, pictures. Actually coming up with a new potential, I guess, business idea with the help of my mother. And that's kind of an exciting deal. She's really into Asian reading, life reading, and she's very good at it. And I'm going to try to help her expand her business, not just, working locally, but expand it out to across the USA, maybe the world. So yeah, that's kind of exciting.
Is she in Tucson also there in that
Yes,
area?
she's in Tucson, right. So
Okay.
yeah, that's something that I'm looking forward to working on. But
So
yeah, just
what inspired you, Jim, early on to be able to make the transition from first of all, what inspired you to be a teacher?
um, you know, I in high school, when I was taking calculus, um, it was a difficult subject, and I wanted to do well in it. So I would be in the library, working out problems, trying to figure stuff out, and some other students needed help, and I really liked helping them with that kind of stuff. It was pretty satisfying being able to help other people. I was
Now,
interested in math.
did you start out in the United States, Jim, or were
Yeah,
you were born in the States, right? Or were you
right.
born
Tucson,
in
Arizona, born here, lived here all my life. So I went to Canyon Darrell High School, over in Oro Valley, just north of Tucson. And went to the University of Arizona. I graduated there. I think it was winter 2000. Winter 2000, yes. So yeah, I got my bachelor's degree in secondary education, major in chemistry, minor in biology. So yes, that was around 2000, and then started working for Pueblo Magnet High School
for what?
as
What was it?
Pueblo
Pueblo?
Magnet High School. Yeah, Pueblo Magnet High School. I worked there for, I believe, 12 years. 12 years. So Yeah, it's 12 years. Yeah, I believe so. So, yeah, it's been an interesting ride. Teaching is a challenging job for sure. Usually teachers, I think a lot of teachers don't make it after like 4 years or something. So I guess I was either, I guess, crazy enough or like I just gritted it out. And after a while, it became more and more fun and a little bit easier. You learn a lot about yourself in teaching. Um,
Yeah.
you learn to develop a sense of humor. you,
Yeah.
you learn to just do the best you can and, know that tomorrow's another day for improvement. So, yeah.
Jim, do you have any brothers and sisters that are in the field of education, or was it just you that
Uh,
decided
oh,
to
my
go this
sister,
endeavor?
yeah, my father actually was a science teacher, eighth grade science teacher for about 29 years. He taught
Wow.
science, physical science for a long time. So I guess he was another reason why I became a teacher. Like father, like son. So in the sciences, which is pretty neat. I like that. Um,
So you feel that you were influenced by your dad mostly by to go into
I would say
teaching?
yes.
Or
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. I he would take me a lot of times to his classroom. I get to see a lot of neat stuff, test tubes, science equipment, preserve dead animals and bugs inside mayonnaise jars and all that kind of stuff. So that was really
Yeah.
fun and kind of exciting. You know, all the experiments to kind of dazzle students and capture the imagination. That was neat. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty fun ride.
And so now the places where you taught there in school, Arizona there, and is that where you taught mostly when you were teaching?
Yes, in Tucson, yes. I taught there high school full time. I also taught physics uh, and freshman science. I also taught at Sylvan Learning Center
Oh,
for
wow,
about the
that's
same
cool.
amount of time. So I taught reading and some writing, study skills, math for about the same time. So I work during the daytime over at Pueblo and head on over in the evenings to teach the students over at Sylvan. So
That
did that
sounds
for about the same
interesting.
amount of time. hmm
Yeah.
Also, I tutored privately for about the same amount of time. I would, just contact high schools and get on the list of tutors, and oftentimes, parents would call. Their child would need help in math, science, and just go on from there. So it was a lot of work. I mean, it was just like get up in the morning, like 4:30, 5 o'clock, get home around like 10. So, so it was a lot of work. I mean, many, many hours, just constant work.
When when was let me when was the last I want to get the last year that you taught, and then I want to kind of get into the transition of what inspired you to get into bikes and stuff like that. But before we do that, I want to see if anybody has a question here. I want to welcome all of you guys that are here on the broadcast from around the world. This is an international live interactive broadcast. We want you to ask questions. We want you to learn, right? Learn here, grow, and get something out of this program. That's why I come here. I come here to give something away for people, to help them excel, to help them turn on the light, whatever it is that you need. Hopefully you can find something in this program or in my videos or what Jim is sharing on this broadcast tonight. But here's the thing, I want to share this before we go on and ask Jim about his transition that he made or whatever he wants to share about. My friends, it's important. It's an important time for us to really think about where we're going. Yes, the president of the United States has been nominated, I guess, but we still have a lot of work to do. So I'm going to encourage you to really think about your life and where we're going. And thank you for being here on the broadcast. Thank you for being here. So, Jim, what when was your last year that you taught school? And I just want to get a little bit of insight of the people, the young people that you were teaching. If you could just kind of just speak a little bit about what you were observing in your last year of teaching. Was there a difference? Was there?
Let's see. So like the last year, I think it was like 2014. That's when I left teaching high school to go full time. No, it was a kind of a it was a progression actually, moving from teaching to dealing with bikes, selling bikes. Uh, I did get into, I guess, bikes around 2011. 2011. I just kind of started building and selling, develop a website, working on.
Now, how
Um,
about before you transitioned? How was your last year? Did you notice changes in people's behavior? Did you notice? Did you notice anything unusual about your classes? The people that you were teaching, the young people that you were teaching, did any of that influence you to move away from it, or
uh, well, I mean, like, I guess I felt that I could start moving into the bikes full time because it just seemed that the opportunity was there. Um, I mean, classes were classes. I can't I can't say that it's not challenging teaching freshmen. Freshmen will always be challenge be a challenge teaching them. But yeah, I thought it was about the right time to move. There's nothing really weird happening at school that took me away from teaching. It just seemed like the right time to move.
so the opportunity was there? And did you know anything about business when you transitioned, or when you
Well,
began
I
the
mean,
transition? Did you know anything?
I started like a tutoring business in that I would tutor, and I would also work with subcontracting other teachers to tutor as well. Did a little
Oh,
bit of business there,
that's
like
interesting.
referrals and finding clients. I did that for a little bit. Um, I guess I could have pursued it. I just didn't feel that I was getting enough clients, so I kind of just kind of stuck to individual tutoring. Um, but it was a process. Developing an LLC, making a business plan, kind of getting organized, really, and taking action, really. Um, I think that's probably one of the biggest things that we have to focus on is that you got to take action if you're going to go and make a change, um, like developing the plan and just executing. And that's what I did to learn a little bit. I didn't work out, the greatest. Didn't make that much money, but it started something. I did yard work, as a part-time job, and I thought that was an interesting thing. My lady friend got a
Landscaping.
landscaping, exactly. I got a weed whacker from my lady friend, because the weeds were growing high, and I said, "Wow, you know what? What if I sell my services whacking weeds, and doing yard work, and put it on Craigslist?" It's like, wow, look at this! I'm getting clients. And it's a very interesting feeling. I mean, yard work, you think it's like it's a kind of a rudimentary kind of low kind of job, but it gets you excited really when you can find prospects, when you can find clients, your own boss, and you get the job done and you get paid. I mean, that was a pretty exciting feeling, really. Um, More so than being in a job. You develop a sense of freedom, really, when you start something that's your own, you know, and that was fun.
So that now, what made you decide? Thank you, Jim, for the donation. By the way, those of you that come here, and
Hey, Jim.
if you're being supported by this mission, I'm going to encourage you to support the mission. It's like it's a recycling business. It's only going to help you when you do support. So thank you. I don't care if it's if it's $2 or if it's $50,000. You know, when you pay it forward, it has a way of coming back. So thank you, Jim. And again, that's what we're here for. What made you decide? And if you have a question, feel free to ask, please, Mr. Keevan, Michael. By the way, Michael, welcome to the broadcast. Lumen, welcome to the broadcast. What made you decide to go into bicycles after testing a little bit of the program with this um, tutoring, teaching?
Um, well, I got interested in the bike building process. I got the idea from an acquaintance who lost his license, his car, but he needed to get to work. So he told me, I have a way, I have a solution. I can make a motorized bike. You don't need a license, don't need registration in a lot of places. Just keep the speed down. And this is interesting. So I looked it up, and actually I bought the components and put it together. There's a learning curve putting it together, but I got it done. I sold the bike, within like maybe 3 days. It's like, wow, I was able to actually, sell something. It's kind of neat too. I mean, like, really, a motorized bike is a pretty fun thing to ride around on. Gives you a lot of freedom from pedaling. People like it. They're cool. They have some use too. So I thought, wow, there seems to be opportunity in these kinds of bikes if I can sell it that quick, right? So yeah, I just started from that, buying another motor, another bike, putting it together, learning, the ins and outs of putting it together, making them correctly, and then selling them, learning how to sell them, and then just little by little expanding from there.
And how long have you been doing this type of business now? What you're currently doing? How long has it been?
Probably close to like 8 years, probably 8 years, maybe 9 years, around there. Yeah, so it's been a while. It's been a while.
Now, what about the new technology with electric motorbikes, and they're coming out with some really cool stuff. Have you even considered any of that?
I thought about electric, thinking about electric. Uh, right now, electric is a little bit pricey for the market that I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Motorized gas bikes have their unique advantage about price. Um, I guess putting together the components. So electric bikes definitely, are moving in there, and they're probably going to dominate later on. And yeah, I definitely will consider electric bikes later on. Um, they are more expensive, these electric bikes, and I believe but probably batteries and the components will come down in price eventually. But yes, definitely electric
Yeah, I'm
is
seeing
probably
some
going to be
really,
the way to
really
go.
neat products when it comes to this new technology. Yeah, that's interesting. Now, let me ask you this: what were your biggest failures, Jim? What do you think really
Yeah,
helped
I can
you
tell you
keep
something.
going? If you want to share some of that.
I had a
Okay.
tragedy. I like set the house on fire one time.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Did
Um,
you do a lot of damage, or was it just a little fire
yeah,
or something?
yeah. The back room had to be replaced. So yeah, that was a problem right there. But yeah, I mean, still, I mean, you can say it's like, oh, I'm done because of this, but I said, well, I made mistakes. You know, I'll make sure that never happens again.
Yeah,
So
you can learn very quickly from that one, huh? Very quickly.
right, exactly.
It's
Right.
amazing how fast you can learn.
Yeah, there's many things uh, as far as building the bikes, things not working right, motors falling off of bikes. You know, um, uh, People having problems with their bikes. But I appreciate those times. I didn't like them, but I appreciated those times because they were just opportunities to learn and get better. Because if I never had those opportunities, I don't think I would be able to do what I do right now. I mean, it just helped me learn and become better, and that's what we really want. And you have to have some mistakes. You have to mess up, in order to improve. That's
Yeah,
just life right there.
you have to be willing. It's hard. It's hard for some people to. We fail all the time, but yet when you become conscious of failure, it's different. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
We fail all the time, but when you become conscious of what failure, because failure is a teacher.
Hmm.
Failure is actually a really great teacher, a great coach, if you think about it. But most people do not like to be, of course, because we're shamed a lot, especially in school. I remember, in many schools you're shamed. You get your report. I remember I used to hate school. I used to hate the whole thing. My mom used to push me to go, but there was times where you take the exam and you get a big F. I remember seeing big F with the circle in red and stuff like that. Really, you don't think about it, but psychologically that does damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but yet some teachers don't understand that. We're learning more and more about how to really connect with people, obviously, but um a lot of the things in the school system, for me, uh, were kind of very destructive. I didn't benefit. I was half asleep most of the time, but I remember a lot of things that teachers did that they could have done differently, you know, and it might have made a difference. But anyways, how did we get on that subject?
Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah, it's tough with the when you encounter failure, like you see that big F, it takes away your energy. But I think what's really really important uh, in life is that you got to have a focus. You have to have a goal. Because if you don't have clarity in what you want in life, you're just gonna get beat up. You know what I mean? You're gonna get beat up like that F. Just, oh no, it's like I'm a loser. I can't do anything. But if you do have a goal, it's like, dang, I messed up here, but you know what? I really really want to achieve this. This is what I want in life. It's like, I messed up here. How can I get better? It sucks. But if you can continuously see, what you want in life, if you have that vision, that clarity, I mean, it'll pull you through that crap, man. I mean, fires, broken down things for me, you know. I mean, if the vision is clear enough of what you want, you know, and I think preparing your mind, right, for, stuff, crap is going to happen, just be ready for it, understand it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. It's going to drain your energy, but just keep kind of like your eye on the prize, what you want, why you want it. It does remarkable things, it it builds resilience, right? It builds like toughness, just bouncing back. Always remember what the goal is. And I think that's what we need to do. I think you talked about focus a while ago, and that's really
Yeah,
important. You got to really focus on um, on what you want, and all the tools that you have to get there. I mean,
yeah. The tools, and you've shared some really good things here tonight, Jim. Speaking about focus and having a vision and failure, we don't realize how important failure is. I think until you become really consciously aware of what failure can do for you,
mhm.
uh, you know, it's it's just it's a very good thing. I never thought of it that way, but failure is a great teacher as long as you use it. You know, if you use it, because if you don't use it, you know, you lose it, like they say. You either become better or you become bitter. And there's a lot of people that are bitter. A lot of people that are bitter out there. Uh, and I don't completely understand how all of this works. We've been given opportunities. Some of us are going to take the opportunities. Some of us are going to waste the opportunities. And but the thing is as long as you're focused, as long as you're focused on what you need to be doing, that's the main thing, right? That's what's kept you going in the direction. In fact, I wanted to ask you, what comes to your mind, Jim, when I say the word life mission? What comes to your mind?
I think life mission. When you say something about life mission, I think it kind of boils down to what your core values are. What you really believe in, and it's. I think it takes a lot of work and thought, and I guess really deciding what you really want in life. Um, and I think it takes some hypnosis. It takes a new mindset, an intentional new mindset of developing a life mission, because it should be something positive. It should be something that's beneficial for you and beneficial for other people as well. A life mission, helping yourself and helping other people. Oftentimes, I think that people say that they have, values of helping others, helping themselves, but sometimes I think their true value is being safe. That's their number one value. I need to be safe.
Yeah,
And oftentimes, it's shown by being affected by fear, trying to escape, not taking action, not doing work, because they have the ultimate number one goal of being safe. That's their number one core value. I got to be safe, got to be safe. And,
yeah.
you got to reflect on that and say, you know what? Is being safe good for me? Is that really helping me? Being fearful, always escaping, not doing what I think I should do because of what other people say, and once you kind of decide that that's not a healthy kind of value, then you start kind of asking yourself, well, what kind of person do I need to be, to have this life mission of helping myself and helping other people, you know and I
That's a
think
good question. That's a good question that you just said. What or who do I need to become in order to
yeah,
fulfill this mission?
there's a guy named James Clear. He wrote a book called Atomic Habits, and he talked about habit formation. He said that you don't want to really talk about what you want to change in your life. He talks about the importance of you know talking about who you want to be, instead of say, oh, I need to lose weight. You know, instead of saying that, it's like, I'm a healthy person, and
Mhm.
I find out what are the things healthy people do. I am a healthy person, and I eat these foods. I eat vegetables versus fried foods, French fries, So I think you talked a lot about that, that identity. What kind of person do you want to be, and say who you are, you know, and you just keep on saying it, and you keep on, focusing on that, right? We talked about focus on who you are, and just constantly say it over and over again. Mind, mouth, power. You talk about,
Well,
and the
my power.
actions will follow, right? The actions will follow.
Yeah,
I'm a non-gambler. I hate casinos. I don't go to casinos, right? All that kind of stuff. I'm a confident person. I don't back down when people talk to me. I am a confident person. I stand up straight. That's what a confident person does. they speak in a loud, clear voice. I'm a
Affirmation.
confident person, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I guess, that when you talk about life mission, you know, I guess it's always going to be evolving, right? And yeah, I think it's just a decision of, wanting to be better, little by little. I see that, things don't happen right away. We live in a society where everything has to be instant. Yesterday was too late, right? And, life isn't like that. I was talking to Eric, my friend, and we were talking about patience. And, um, I feel that I'm an impatient person because I think that there's a lot of fear in me, right? Because I'm fearful. Oh, if I don't have this done, this is bad thing is going to happen. If I don't have that, this bad thing is going to happen. So I need to, be very impatient about things. And, it doesn't work out. So, being patient about change, being patient about, who you want to become, is very, very important. That's another focus that we should have on, things don't happen overnight. If you start, that's good. But it's little by little, right?
Yeah, little by little. It's the little foxes that spoil the vine, like they say. So it's the little foxes, it's the little things that are going to help you develop, the little tiny things. Uh, yeah, it's our focus, our life mission. I had no idea. I had no clue. I remember I used to hear people talking about life mission, and I would puzzle about that. Now that I understand life mission, it's almost like, man, why doesn't everybody have a life mission? I think this way because I'm in it. I have to remind myself that not everybody can see what I can see or the way that I see, but we all have a life mission. We just either we haven't found it yet or we haven't taken we don't have the courage and the confidence to begin to take action to practice that thing.
I think life mission is very important because that is your focus. You're very clear on how you want to live your life. And once you are clear about, the kind of person you want to be, you know exactly what to do in certain circumstances when, you encounter stuff, hey, my mission is that, I'm going to love myself. I'm going to love other people. I see that cheeseburger. You know what? I'm not going to eat it, because that's unhealthy for me. I love myself, you know? If I don't take care of myself, I can't take care of other people. I'm not eating that cheeseburger. I'm going to exercise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you have that life mission, you're very, very clear on how you want to conduct yourself, right? So, I mean, it's great.
That's yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why people get caught up. I they get caught up in addiction because they don't have a life mission. See, you're looking for something. Of course, you're looking for it in all the wrong places. And I just had a thought that I was going to share about developing your life mission.
I think it based
It,
on imagination, vision. Where do you want to see yourself, really? It's kind of
yeah,
trite, but I
it's through
mean, people always
questions.
say it.
It's through asking yourself questions. The thing is that we know what we know. Most of us already know what we should do. But the thing is, if you're gambling and all of these things, it's just a distraction. And the reason is because you haven't found what it is that moves you. You think gambling or some other. I used to be. This is what I wanted to share. I used to be an internet rabbit. I called myself an internet rabbit because I was going after all of the shiny things and I was losing a lot of money. I was gambling, but I was also going after shiny things. What are the shiny things? Instant overnight success. Buy this software and pay $497. Pay for the software, and you will be getting a business on autopilot. You won't have to do anything at all. Just pay the $497, and you will have money coming in within 2 to 3 weeks. I used to fall for that. And every shiny thing that it seemed like it was a new project, or there was another $50, or there was $150 going there. And in the meantime, I'm gambling and I'm doing all of this stuff. I didn't have any mission. I didn't have any vision. really know who I was, and I didn't know what I wanted. And we daydream all the time about these things. We daydream. We just, for some reason, maybe we don't come across the right person to help us get it started, or we don't, the right experience, the amount of money that's needed. There's always something that we think can't get us started, but yet we can always work through that. That's part of failure. To build a business, to get away from gambling, in your uh, perspective of how you transferred from being a teacher after so many years into becoming an entrepreneur. And it's not an easy. People think having a business is freedom. It is freedom. It's a lot better than having a job. Honestly, having a job is nothing wrong with it, but you can only make so much at a job. You can't make, you can't go beyond. There's a ceiling there with a job. When it comes to business or sales, there's no cap. So you're going to earn what you're worth. You're going to, whatever you practice, that's what you're going to earn. You can either go high or you can go low. And that's what motivates me to stay as an entrepreneur. I remember I was working with Coach Cephas a couple years ago, and I wanted to quit. I wanted to stop. I wanted to move into something else. And something inside me just kept saying, keep going. This is your mission, man. And I said to myself, one day I was just thinking, as I usually do, and I came up with the name, right? The world's number one problem gambling annihilator. And I said to myself, what do you mean you're going to call yourself the world's number one problem gambling annihilator? Well, nobody else is doing it. Why couldn't I do it? If I feel like I've become the number one problem gambling annihilator, why not step out and face my fear? And regardless if I fail using that label with myself, now when I say fail, if I might look funny, other people might think, who does this guy think he is, calling himself the world's number one problem gambling annihilator? Well, I'm calling myself the world's number one problem gambling annihilator, because that's a label that I put on myself to help keep me going forward. And it does make a difference. It does help. The simple truth is about it, you said this, and I've said it many times, we have to convince ourselves. If we're not convincing ourselves, somebody else is, or something else is convincing us. We must get to a place where we are convincing ourselves to take the action that is necessary to get us to what we want.
That's right. Everything, anything that's worth pursuing and reaching, all your actions have to be intentional. Everything that you do, not do, has to be intentional acts. You have to be clear. Like you said, other people might pull you into their plans if you don't have your own plans, right? Everything. I mean, like here we live in an age of distraction with the cell phone and YouTube and Facebook, all those goofy videos, and TikTok, all these videos of politics, COVID, all this stuff, and they're great, great escapes from not focusing on. I mean, I'm guilty of that, and I should ask myself why am I spending so much time doing this stuff, watching this stuff, getting tied up in all this stuff, what are you avoiding, and it teaches me a little bit about myself. It's like, why am I avoiding? Why am I not focusing on? You know, like for a lot of these, a lot of the people, it's like, why am I gambling? Why am I going to the casino? Why am I doing drugs? Why do I keep on drinking? What am I avoiding? There's something that I'm avoiding, perhaps. And for me, it's like, oh, I'm watching this stuff, I'm talking about this, I'm doing other things because maybe the work that I'm doing is hard, it's confusing, and I'm afraid that I don't have the answer, and I'm not going to spend time focusing on that because it makes me feel bad. It makes me look at myself in a negative way. You can't do this, you can't figure this out. So maybe I distract myself with other things, maybe I avoid what I really need to do. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I think reflection is very important. We got to reflect upon what we're doing, and if that's moving us in the direction that we want to go, or if it's moving in the wrong direction. Well, I always ask ourselves why we do these things.
And what is it that we need to be doing? What should I be doing? What should I be doing to better myself? Right? It's amazing. Questions are amazing. If you just simply ask yourself a couple of questions and you write the answers down, and then you just focus on that, and start out with one thing. You can't fix your whole. We've got major problems, we all have, but you got to start out with one thing. Fix that one thing. What's the most important thing in your life that you need to fix? Do you need to do you need to stop gambling? Do you have a need to stop gambling? Do you have a need to move away from a job? Maybe you got a business. I remember I was talking to this business owner who basically a business fell into his lap. It was a family business that he wasn't even expecting. I guess, I don't know if he was expecting it or not, but it kind of fell into his lap. And he seemed like he was a bit bitter because of having to run a family business that seemed to be doing well for the guy. As I was talking to him, we were talking business, and I kind of got that impression like, I wasn't looking for this business. It got thrown on me, and now I'm having to, man, I'd be grateful. Got a business given to me, inherited, making some good money. I'm going to seek for better ways to improve and help my coworkers. Have that kind of an attitude, especially today in this day and age. If you do not have the ability to really figure out how to serve people and adapt and move with the trends, you're going to get left behind, and you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle, and you're going to feel all alone. And again, you're going to end up looking for escapes, because that's what happens when we get to that position. We're desperate. We don't know what to do. We're prideful. We don't want to get help. We start looking for things, and we end up getting in trouble. That's, again, one of the reasons why I established this program about over a year ago, to help people online, give them a place to come to, possibly find solutions and some answers. And, here's some stories that could possibly help them build, confidence. Because that's what helps us build confidence, is when we listen to stories, when we see somebody that failed and is doing something that maybe we're not doing. That inspires us. It creates belief in us that, wow, this guy's doing it, she's doing it, I can do it. And you begin changing the way you talk to yourself, right? I've mentioned this, and I'm going to continue to mention this. You've mentioned this today on this broadcast: mind, mouth, power. Learn how to connect these two together for your benefit. The faster you learn how to connect these two for yourself, the quicker you will benefit. The more money you will be able to make. The faster you will be able to get away from your addiction, whatever it may be. The better you will become at communicating with people, building relationships. And if there's anything that we need to be doing today more of, it is learning how to build relationships with people, understanding behavior. If you don't understand behavior, in fact, we're getting ready to do the call to action. We're going to be ending pretty soon here, but one call to action that I'm going to recommend, and we will be back here. We will be back here on Sunday at 7 p.m. We'll be back here at Sunday at 7 p.m. But I'm going to recommend that focus. Let me see. How can I put this? Focus. Focus on where you want to go. Focus on what it is that you need to do. And that's basically my call to action.
Yes.
I'm going to let Jim finish up the broadcast here.
Yeah, I like to just mention, I like to just piggyback on what you're talking about, focus. I think Dr. Jordan Peterson talks about one of the ways that you can improve your life, and one of the things that you should focus on is trying to be not better than other people, not being better, than other people around you. Just focus on being better than who you were yesterday. How can I improve upon myself from yesterday? And once you start, making a clear little goal like that and achieving that goal, like exercise, let's say, I'm going to exercise, and I did exercise. I didn't exercise yesterday, and you see, and that develops those victories, that we need to also focus on. It's like, I was able to get this done. I was able to get that done, and you know what? You should do that little by little every day. They start snowballing. You record that stuff in your journal. You start, taking notes and all that kind of stuff. It's like, wow, I'm developing some momentum, momentum of getting better every day. And, the only thing that you should focus on concentrating on comparing yourself is just who you were yesterday. That's the only person, that you need to compare yourself against.
That's it. Yeah, be the change. Be the change you wish to see in the world. We want to change other people, but we need to be the change that you wish to see in the world. And with your focus, searching for your life mission. Search for your life mission. Simply ask yourself the question. What is my life mission? What is my life mission? What is it that I'm supposed to be doing? What am I good at? What could I be very good at and help other people with and make money at? You might not find the solution asking yourself one time. Ask yourself over and over. It's kind of a lifetime journey, finding your mission. But once you find your mission, you will not be the same person. You will never be the same once you find your life mission. Once you know what your purpose is, you find something that really, really fulfills you. You know, uh, you won't be the same. So start something new this week for yourself. Take action. Take action on what it is that you need to be doing. You know what you need to be doing. Jim has shared his story with us a little bit there, and some ins and outs of how he's made it through and how he continues to win in spite of the struggles. Like myself, I struggle every day. I struggle, but I face my fear. You got to convince yourself, man. That I think that's, if anything, you have to convince yourself. You got to get up every day and you got to be willing to convince yourself of what it is that you need to be doing. So we are coming to the close of the broadcast. I truly want to thank Jim. I see there's a couple more people that are joining on. If you have any questions, we will be cutting the program off here pretty soon. Jim, if you want to stay for a little bit longer, you're welcome to stay. Sure. I appreciate you for sharing. And I hope great success, man, with the business and the mom, you're helping family member,
Yeah. One thing I want to add is everyone should, use what you talk about, mind, mouth, power. Just, you got to keep on saying, I'm worth it. I am worth it. I'm worth, the struggle. I'm worth fighting. I'm worth falling down, making mistakes. I'm worth it. Everyone needs to say that, for people who are having problem gambling issues, drugs, alcohol, whatever it is, it's like the main thing that you should focus on is that you are worth it. You're worth, becoming better than who you were yesterday. Just always say that you're worth it. And I think, talking about caring about yourself, loving yourself should be everyone's mission, right? Probably should be, fundamental in their mission statement. It's like caring about themselves, what's the healthiest, best way of caring about myself so I can care about others.
That's right. Development. And, hang around the sources that are going to help you. Hang around the sources. Some of those sources can be free at no cost. And sometimes it might cost you a little bit. The thing is, you'll know what it is that you should be investing in after a little bit of hanging around and associating with others. You begin to see where your investments should be. And that's where your time should be spent. it's vital that we do this today more than ever, so that we don't become so that we distract our distractions. As Jim said, we got to distract our distractions. So with that said, my friends, I'm done for the day. I want to thank each and every one of you guys. Jim, our special guest with us, as he's been with us before. I'm sure he'll be with us again. Kevin, Texas and Texas A&M. Jim West, Michael Reitzenstein. That's a unique name. And then there's Jesse Valdez. Thank you for sharing with us here. Laura, Irene Go, Eric Daniel, welcome to the broadcast. I know we're coming to the end. Again, if you enjoyed it, support the mission. You can go right there below on the screen. Get a copy of the book, the Little Red Book. You can support the mission. You can give the book away. It's a great gift. It's going to help optimize somebody's mind somewhere. And again, you'll be supporting me as I continue to stay on the airwaves. Wig 475. And then who else was on here that I didn't see? It looks like that's it. And there was a few other people that came on the broadcast. You didn't come let me know who you were. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. Jim, anything else you want to share before we end the program? And we'll see you fine folks on Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard. We'll be talking a little bit more about focus and taking action, man. You know, what's it going to take to really take action? We'll talk a little bit more about that on Sunday.
That's right. Thank you very much, Sir Santos. Remember, everyone, have a vision, for the best version of yourself. Have focus, and take action.
All right. That's it, my friends. Until my next broadcast, I salute each and every one of you guys. Remember to make every day super fantastic, terrific, and over the top in spite of and because of. We'll see you Sunday, 7 p.m. Santos Rolon Jr., soldiers of selfmastery.com.